Hi everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I'm going to show you how to put together the 5x7 shutter card dies. So I've just recently launched these, so I just wanted to put a video out there so that everybody who's purchased has that for reference. And if you are new to my channel or you haven't seen the shutter cards, everything will be linked in the description box below. So this is the 5x7. You get the belly band. This is decorated using the sweets, and I've got the 5x7 embossing folder on the front there. You just take your belly band off, and then when you open it, you have your shutter, and it says have a sweet birthday. All the papers are all part of the new collection as well, and then it just slides. You could pop your message on the back, or if you wanted to, you could write your message in here, which is what the person sees when they open it, so it reveals. And then it just holds itself together with the belly band. It's optional to have the belly band on there. You could just use one of the toppers and just attach it to one side of the gatefold, or you could just leave it, decorate it how you want, and pop that in the envelope and just keep that for other cards. So that's one version. Then there's this one here, which is using the cake and the fork and the candle, which comes in the edition set. And you've also got the embossing folder again here, and then you open this one and it's a double, and very easy to do. It's the same as the single, you just move them around. And that one there says it's your birthday, eat the cake. Again, that stamp comes in one of the stamp sets. This is another version, so it says happy cake day, calories don't count, and you've got the donut, which is what I'm going to be using today, again with the embossing folder. And then you open this one up and it says all you need is love and donuts, and you've got that lovely paper there as well with the 3 donuts with the glossy accents. So that is the 5x7, but I wanted to do it in a landscape version for the video today because it's exactly the same as that. You're just changing the orientation and it will give you this look. So again, using your belly band, and I'll show you how to extend that, and just slide off like so, and then this one here opens like this, and I think it looks really good. So it just gives you, in some ways, I guess, a bit more space. You can add more bunting, you can add your images either side, but you could still also turn this into a double. So you can see that it's just the same as the others, it just opens this way. So you can also have your, if you want to do it as a portrait version like that, you can move your aperture so it's in the middle. Like I said, you can have it at the top, you can have it at the bottom, or you can have the 2. It's very straightforward to do, so let me show you how. So this is the 5x7 shutter card. Now there are 15 dies, not 16, so ignore that, though you can see there's 15 images on the front here. So that's everything you need to create a shutter card, and then all the other bits here are kind of your additions and things to add to it. So these are the 2 stamp sets that I've launched. So you've got the sweets editions and the baked goods. It's the baked goods that I'm going to use today, but this one will work just as well, and it's so cute. I love the little cake pop there and the other little kind of lollies and sweets. Very cute images. You have your dies, which will coordinate with both of these sets. They're all in that one pack together. And then this is the additions, which coordinates with the 5x7 set. And you can see here I've got some of the bunting that I've taken, and I'm going to cut the aperture using one of these. And then this is the 5x7 embossing folder, which you would have seen on those samples that I showed you. I'm not going to use it on this card today, but just so you can see that's how that one looks. And then the papers, one of my favourite, if not my favourite pad that I have released to date is this one here, and it's the shutter card paper pad, and you've got all your sweet themes there, and I've just taken the donuts, which I've already cut. So I have gone ahead and cut all the pieces, but I'm just going to talk you through what each piece means. So I'm just going to flip that over there. Let's just take it out of the plastic and we'll talk through it from the start. So this is the main 5x7 card, and there are 2 score lines, and you just want to fold those, and that will create your gatefold. So it's a nice perfect gatefold die as well. So if you don't always need to add the mechanism, you can just add that piece there. So just follow the score lines and you'll see it all lines up like so, and that's using the largest die here. So if you have a standard die cutting machine, this die is not going to fit through because those are usually just over 6 inches, and obviously this is 7 height, so you would need a large die cutting machine. However, it's only for this die, so if you can make your own gatefolds, it's a very simple fold to do. Everything else will fit through a standard die cutting machine. So I know some people have said, oh, I'm not too worried about this die, I can do that myself, and they want all those pieces, and you're still okay to use your smaller machine. Okay, once you've done that, you want to cut this one here, and you'll see it will fit neatly within the sides here of your gatefold, and you want to cut 4 of those. So you'll have 2 on the front and 2 on the inside, and I've used my lovely donut paper here, so I'm going to have 2 on the front, and then I'm going to have 2 on the sides here. You then want the next kind of largest one, I guess, which is this one here, and it's your matte layer for the inside. So you'll want to cut two if you want to write your message on the back. So you'll have one in the middle here and then one on the back. And I've also gone ahead and cut, I've just done the one for now, but I've got my white one there, which is going to go in the middle. First of all, get those all stuck down, because you need those all in place, because when you add your shutters, you're actually going to stick them on top and over all of this. So I'm going to stick them down first. So that's everything stuck down. Next, you want to cut these two here, and you'll see they sit nicely inside each other. And that's your layer, or your matten layer really, for the center panel. And this is where you're going to cut your aperture, and that's going to sit right through the middle there. So I've gone ahead and cut mine in this pink color for the larger one. So you can see there. And then for the smaller one, I've gone for this blue color, which I think is not a bad match. And you can see there, that's that one. Now you don't want to stick any of this onto this part yet, but you do want to just stick the layer on top. So I'm just going to pop that one in place. Okay, now you'll see what I've got left here. So this one is for your shutter. Now you want to cut two if you just want to do a single shutter. If you want to do a double shutter, then you'd need four. You can see there I've cut mine. And then you've got your belly band. So because I'm doing the landscape version, you'd want to cut three. But if you're just doing a normal belly band, just cut two of them if you're doing the 5x7 portrait style. Keep that there so I know I've showed everything. Okay, and then I've just got all my circles left. So I've just separated them here. It's easy to do, you'll know when you get yours. And these ones here are more for the apertures inside the card, and then these here are for the belly band. However, you can use like this group of three here, the three smallest. Then you could still, you can see here this one, it will just fit within that section. If you did want to do that as your frame, that one will go in the middle there as the actual aperture. I wouldn't necessarily cut that as the aperture, because you're running very thin there with your edges, and you wouldn't be able to put a frame on that. So it will all make sense to you when you get yours. And then these are just decorative. They're really nice, and I'm actually going to show you at the end, towards the end, how you can weave ribbon through this detail here. So it's really nice, or you can just keep it like that. That's how it looks. You can see what you get. So that is all the dies. So that's everything cut. I'm now going to use the addition set to cut the aperture. So like I said, if you just have this die, you'll now use these ones for the next step that I'm going to show you. In here, you've got lots and lots of dies. So I'm just going to take out the ones that I need. Again, all the circles, it will all make sense. The best thing to do is when you get it is play around and have some fun with it, but you'll see what will fit inside. So that one is just, yeah, so that one's just a plain aperture. That one will fit nicely inside here, which is the one I want, because I want this frame detail. Okay, so I'm going to pop all that back in there, and again you can see what you get. You've got your fork detail there. You can have these as just nice decorative mats, so you can decorate the front, and obviously you can use them for your belly band as well. And these will make different biscuits. You've got biscuits down here, you've got your cake and your candle. There's all sorts in there. I will link the launch tutorial that I done, and you will see everything in a bit more detail, and I'll show you some samples there as well. First of all, you want to get your middle panel and your die, and because I'm doing this as a landscape and I want images either side, I'm going to cut this circle in the center here, and then I'm just going to lay some tape just to tack that in place. Pop your tape in the so more of it's in the circle and not on this section, and then you know you don't run the risk of it ripping any of this here. So I'm now going to run that through my machine, and it has been cutting fine through the two layers of cardstock. I use 300 GSM and the paper in some tutorials, and it's cut through with no problems. Okay, so you'll see there that's cut perfectly. What you then want to do is, with your original circle that you just cut and the frame, is pop it in the middle so you've got a nice equal border, or frame should I say, and then you're going to cut that again. Now I'm going to cut it in that lovely hot pink colour, and then that will just really pop. And then I think I'm going to fill all the negative space. Never throw the negative spaces away, negative pieces away, because you will use them to paper piece and they make the frame really pop, and I'll talk about that again in a moment. So I'm just going to run that one through. Okay, so I've actually changed my mind, and I'm going to have a white frame with the pink pieces inside. But what looks really nice as well is you can offset the frames. So if you've got two, by overlapping them, you see that pretty really, actually, I think I might just keep that. This is what happens when I do things. That I really like that. I think I'm going to do that for today. I have done it in another sample, and again you'll see those in the launch one, but these are all the negative pieces, so keep these, because what you would then do, because originally now I was just thinking about doing the white frame, so you'd lay your white frame down and then you just paper piece the pink, in my case, back in. It's really easy, quick to do. I've done it as a demo with Craft Stash, but it really does make that frame pop. But again, I'm just trying to show lots of different ways, but I think I'm going to go with that today, because I think that looks really nice. So keep all of these, because they really does make a difference to your frame. So I'll pop them in my little tray in a moment. So I'm going to just use my quick grab glue here, and I'm just going to run the glue around the frame. You can go around all the little arches if you want, but it's such a delicate piece, I don't think you need to. So I just want to make sure I get this lined up. So just pop each one so it's halfway over the one below. So for me, the pink. Focus on your center ring and then you'll know everything lines up. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Really, really like that. I think it's because I've done it with the white and pink. I can't remember what colour I've done it with on the other sample. And then again, just pop some glue all around there. And then you're just going to line that up with the inside there. And you can see that. I really like that. I think it looks very, very pretty. So now this is going to go in the middle here. But what you want to do first of all is you need to lay this down, and we're going to just mark with a pencil the frame so we know where to stamp. So I'm just going to pop a little pencil mark here, here, here and here, so just kind of on 4 sides. But now I know that's where I want to stamp my image, and I'm going to place this in my stamping platform like so. And then using the stamp set here, so this is one that I've already got ready to go on my topper, which I'm going to show you more about in a moment. So I think I'm not going to have a sentiment on the front on this one, but inside here it's going to have to be that all you need is love and donuts, because I've got my donuts all ready. And again, I'll show you those in a second, but I think I'm going to have that one there, because I think this sentiment, it can obviously be for a birthday, but I think it could be for anything. It'd be a nice little get well sentiment, and then you can also give them some donuts as well. So I think it will work nice as just a just because card. But I've got these here. So what I've done is I've used my alcohol markers to colour them. I then popped glossy accents over the top part of the icing, and then when that had dried, I went over with my Nuvo drops in the vintage. This is the vintage drop range, and this is the chalk stick colour, and I've made little kind of white sprinkles. So I've done that on all 4 of them, because these are going to go either side on that blue piece like so. So I think the sentiment, all you need is love and donuts, is going to work really well with that. Pick that one up, make sure that doesn't shift. Ink up your sentiment. And do one more. And then just rub away those pencil marks. Okay, so that's all ready. Next, I've got my foam strips here. You can use some of your normal foam tape, and if you just lay the strips onto a piece of wax paper, and you can then trim them to any width that you want. These here I purchased from Amazon, and they've just been very, very handy for when I'm doing any live demos and tutorials. It's just, you know, much quicker. Now with your shutters, these are going to sit here. So you can see you've got all this space here and here if you do want to add more foam. But I've just been adding that there at either end, and it's been fine. So I'm just going to take the backing off. And then just make sure you've got an equal amount of the white, in my case, at the top and the bottom. And it lines up with either end of the card. And then stick that down. Okay. Next, you're going to grab the shutter pieces, and you just want to fold and burnish that score line at the end. And then I'm just going to use some of my tape, and you just want to pop that along each end. And then you just want to make sure that you have it like this, so you've got one of these over the top and one on the bottom. Doesn't matter if you do it that way or that way, but as long as one's over the top, you get a much smoother closure when you do that. Pop them together like this, and then you're just going to slide it underneath, okay, until it comes through this end. And what you want to make sure is you get where it just starts to join in the center of this circle, and your score lines here on each side should meet up perfectly with this width here. Okay, so you can see there, and it will just start to join, and that's what you want, that tiny little hole. It means you won't get any puckering. And then I'm just going to take the backing off and fold that one over, and then just kind of keep that all pushed down so nothing moves. Again, take your backing off and fold that one over. Okay, so now, have I got it the right way up? Yeah, when you open the card, it will reveal your message. And I just like to go over and burnish either end there. So you can now, I mean, obviously doing it landscape, it would have to rest against something, whoever, you know, you're giving this to, but I think that's fine. Alternatively, they can kind of close it up and it will still stand like so, and then there'll be the belly band. But I really like the landscape version. And then I've got my donuts here. So I'm going to have 2 each side, something like that. I think that looks so sweet. And then what I've also gone ahead and done is I cut 4 of the bunting, which also comes in the additions. And again, you'll get your negative spaces, and this is why I wanted this style, because it does make a real nice difference to the bunting for you to be able to mix the colours. You could have different colours in each one, so it's like a rainbow. But for this one here, I'm going to have yellow because I have yellow on the back. So I've die cut 2, stuck them together, and I'll just bring in, but you can see I've got all these little negative pieces. I've got some holographic ones here as well. But yeah, just keep all of these in a little bag because you never know when they come in handy. But I think I'm going to have it so I've kind of got them like that. So I think it's 4, or was it 5? 2, 4, no, it's actually 6 on each side. 2, 4, yeah, 6 on each side. So I'm just going to snip away 1 at the end of each one. So I'm going to get all of this stuck down. And then we've just got the belly band and that little bit of stitching to show you. Okay, so that's everything stuck down. You can see how much the bunting now kind of pops when you paper piece different colours back inside. And I've got my donuts all in place, so that's the inside all done. And then I'm just going to keep all those for later projects. So now the belly band. So I've got my 3 strips, and then I have die cut the larger one, the smaller one. So if I just bring back this again. So here you can see is the largest die with the stitched piece there, which will give you this effect. And you can see where I started to stitch my ribbon through. And then for this one here, I've cut the next size circle with the stitch detail. So basically I've cut all of those ones, and you'll get these 2 with the pattern. The smallest one was then cut from that smaller circle. Okay. So I've already put foam on the back of there, and I'm going to pop some foam on there, and that's just going to stick in the middle. But for this one here, I've just got the thin ribbon. Now I picked this ribbon up. I've got it for Christmas in my stocking. I think my mum got it for me, and it was from Amazon, and you got a pack of it, and it was all wrapped around a big kind of spool in a plastic box, and it was from Amazon. So if I can still find that link, well, I will have the link, but if it's still available, I'll share it below. But it just worked really well with this, and this is just a wide hole needle there. I mean, if you've got the patience, you could thread it through with a pokey tool, but I've just pretty much done all of it, and I've just gone under and over each one until we meet at the end there. I was almost about to break into a song, but I want to make sure that I have both of them facing me because I want to tie this off in a bow. So I'm going to bring that one forward. So I think, oh, actually what I can do is go back through that one, and then so they both come through the same together. And then just pull it nice and taut there, like so. Take my needle off, and now I'm just going to tie a bow. And it was just something really different that I thought about when I was putting these cards together. And you could, you know, you could put 2 lots of ribbon through. It would go through with another one, so you could have double kind of, maybe I could have got a pink through this with the yellow as well. So I have the 2 colours, but you can just finish that off with a bow. That look really pretty. And it just makes your belly band just a little bit more special. Of course, if you don't want to thread it through, you can still pop a bow on the top there. But now I'm going to pop that one there. I guess you could weave some more ribbon through that bit if you wanted. And then I'm just going to lay that down in the middle there. Okay, and I've just had an idea with this one here, and I'm going to use, I think it will work, the Calories Don't Count stamp, but I'm going to try and arch it around this here. Now I have already put the foam on the back, so ideally I should have done that after. I'm going to just pop that magnet there, and then in the stamp set right at the bottom you've got Calories Don't Count, and it's just a nice, it's a funny little one to have, but it should be able to curve. Let's just see. Yeah, see, I think I could make that curve around here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is do it on here, because it will stick, 'cause it's photopolymer, and then I'm just going to have to move this and line this up with where I want it. I think I'll probably arch that a bit too much. Let's pull it out a little bit. Okay, I think I've got that. So I'm going to ink that up. Pop that down. Hopefully that's not moved. No, that's worked really, really well. Actually, I'm not going to do the one at the bottom just because I don't want to ruin it. But what I was then going to do is arch it in that direction, so you had it, you know, kind of written twice. So we're just going to stick with that. Some will be watching now thinking, yeah, good job, Sam, walk away. But I think that looks really nice. So again, just showing you another way to work the stamps there around, you know, different things. So anything, especially if it's a long sentiment, it will always work. The shorter ones, it's going to be a bit difficult, and if they're thick, you're not really going to be able to do it. But certainly with anything like that, can't get the backing off of this piece, didn't like that bit there, so I'll just pop some glue in place. And now I'm just going to lay that one down, line it up with the bow like so. And then for the belly band, so you would have cut 3, you want to just fold and burnish the ends there. So you've got your little tabs. So if you're just making a normal belly band, you'll just flip one, so you've got the tab stuck at that end and the tab stuck at that end, and there you can see you'll have your belly band. We're going to basically do the same kind of thing, but we're going to attach all 3 together. Okay, so just attach those together, and then with that one there. And I'm going to bring the card in, close that all up, make sure that's all stuck, and I'm going to lay it down. If I do it from the back, you want to make sure you've got kind of equal amount overhanging there, like that. And I'm just going to wrap that around, and again just wrap that around, and you'll see there that they will join up nicely. And then I'm just going to roughly, I can see there, I can add my glue over this section here. So this is just a way to extend the belly band, and you could keep adding to it. So if you've got bigger cards, then you can obviously make that work. and don't have it so tight that they can't take it off. So I have got it, it's a little bit loose there. Let that grab for a second. And then I can just carefully slide that off. And then I always like to just burnish the ends, and it just neatens them up there, like so. And then my topper is going to sit like so. So I'm just going to run some glue kind of through the middle there, and then just sit that one nicely in the middle. And you could use these as little wraps. You could put them around gifts, you know, depending on how wide the gift is, or circular. Maybe you're giving someone a plant for their birthday or as a gift. You could have that as a wrap around. So you can really decorate these and, you know, do a lot more with them. But now you'll see it matches really nicely. So I just slide that back on like so. And there you have a really lovely card, and you've got the space obviously to write on the back if you need to. Okay, so I'll just bring back in all the others there, and again just take that off, and you can see that really cool card. I love it, so sweet. And then this one, obviously I did intend for this to be portrait as I was making it, and then it was as I was making it that I then decided to turn it into a landscape, but that's the other version there. And then those are all of your portrait versions, again with the belly band as a single or as a double. It all works exactly the same way that I've showed you today. So there's lots of variations and ways that you can change this up, and whether you've just got the die set on its own or with the additions, I think they all look really nice, because that's just using the die on its own, and then this is, you know, with the additions, with the frames and the bunting and things like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it explains everything for those of you that have purchased these. Thank you as always to everybody that's purchased the collection. It's you know, it just means the world to me. So thank you for watching. Everything will be linked as always in the description box below, and I'll be back very soon with more fun tutorials. Bye.